Hey guys, how's it going? So I'm down at the garden center today. Actually, Aaron's with me. I thought he was right behind me. He must have gone inside. We are here to pick out plants for these splash pad containers. So we're planning on planting those up this weekend. They're gonna get them all placed and filled with soil. And they just asked if we wanted to come down and plant them up. And I thought that that was an excellent idea. So it is a little bit early. My mom ordered a ton of Proven Winners plants in earlier than normal. So a lot of them, like, we're just starting to see some color, but they're really full and beautiful. And I cannot wait these will be my first containers, like summer containers that I will plant this year. So anyway, there's a lot of pretty things to see. I think we're gonna do about 6 plants per pot with a centerpiece. That's kind of what we're planning on doing. Oh, there you are. Hey.
Oh, I almost tripped.
Oh,
well, I actually didn't almost trip, I did trip.
So I think what we need to do is just grab a cart, and I'm gonna show you what's up here. There's a lot of stuff like in pallets on the back, like backstock stuff. So I think we'll come up with something really nice. So these carts up here are always filled with seasonal color, super fun. There are some double up begonias here, which are new this year, I think. I tried them out last year. These aren't for splash pad purposes, I don't think, because it says sun to shade though, Aaron. I just don't know, that's a lot of sun, and on concrete, that would make me a little nervous.
Look at the difference in the leaf color between the whites and the pinks. I wonder why that is.
The glossy green and the bronze.
Yeah, I wonder why
variety thing.
These two are different. I really like this.
Well, why don't you get yourself some? You can plant some in one of the flower beds at home.
Yeah.
Yeah, you want to do that?
Yeah. Here.
There's Aaron's plants for the day.
I'll take 5.
Perfect.
Actually, you know what? I'll take a whole flat. Screw it.
That is something that I would do, Aaron. You realize this, right?
Okay. I need help.
Here.
No, I got it.
You got it?
I got it.
Okay.
Oh, it's dripping down my arm.
Comes with the territory, Aaron.
Okay.
Those are nice. You know what they look good with, though? Look at this. Diamond frost.
Yeah.
Isn't that pretty?
Okay, do you want to have like a little staging area that's ours?
Yeah.
Should I just like stick stuff over here?
Maybe we grab a couple green carts.
Okay.
I do see some Superbell's Tropical Sunrise. Beautiful Superbells. We're probably gonna go light on Superbells. They just don't do as well in mixed containers for me anyway. I wanna make it easy on people who are taking care of these. Oh, look there's some lobelia and bacopa and some interesting, these are more landscape type petunias in that they don't trail. Okay, so right over here, there's some Supertunias that I think we're gonna definitely grab. Some Bordeaux's, some Supertunia honey. There are some really nice Superbenas as well. And Supertunias and Superbenas really do well together. It's just that when I put Superbells with Supertunias, Superbells tend to like it a little bit more dry. So I have a hard time regulating water to have both of them in there. I love the color of this geranium right here. Look at that.
Okay, so should we probably get like a flat of Bordeaux?
Yes.
Oh, you want to take this one out?
Oh, sure.
Oh, and there's one amethyst in there.
Where? Oh. Okay. I think we need some of the osteo reds and then maybe some of this lantana.
You know, I don't really love these black cherries all that much.
How come?
I don't know. I think over the years, you've turned me to like the, well.
I like black cherries,
Yeah,
though.
you do, don't you?
Yeah.
So you
don't
haven't
lump
turned
me
at
into
all.
that, yeah.
I like the brighter colors. That's what it is. I just like things really vibrant. To me, that just
Yeah,
doesn't.
but look at this. You put this together.
It looks fall to me. Like it's
okay.
not something that I want
These
in the
are
spring.
our town colors. We should probably do a pot like that. Cardinal and corn.
That's not quite bright enough, right?
No, that's about right. I do think we
I
could
love
use.
these.
Yeah, those are nice. Those are, what are those?
Berry
Lantana,
blend.
berry
We've done these
blend.
before.
Yeah, those are
These
great.
look really cool.
I think we should grab some lantana, some diamond frost, some of these osteo reds.
Should we grab them from here or from the back?
No, I think we got to grab them here because I already checked out the back stock.
Okay. Do you want to take? How many of these do you want?
Well, we could probably use a cart. We can get them all back there and bring back what we don't end up laying out for the containers.
Do you want any of
I
these?
didn't see any of those back there.
The mini vistas?
Yeah,
the
the indigos. Mm-hmm.
Some
we
of
should
these?
have some of those.
How many do you want? The whole flat?
Yeah. Let's grab a cart. I gotta go locate a cart. There are no carts up here. There's usually like 10 carts sitting up here.
Shame.
It's spring at the garden center. We should just take this in just real quick. I'm not gonna do a full tour, like that's not the point of today, but look at how full it is. Oh, there's passion flowers in here, tons of grasses and ferns. Oh, this greenhouse, there's citrus, there's more olive trees right there. I've got to control myself. Cannas and sweet potato vines. There was one little vignette that really caught my eye. I really want to show you guys. This is it right here, this little grouping. Isn't that beautiful layering? Just sitting here in their nursery cans, there's an ash leaf spirea. That's what this kind of ferny one is. Light green, graduating to yellow with a lot of pink in the new growth. Oh, I've had this in my garden before, in both gardens actually. It does want to spread a little bit if you've got it in a sunny location. My parents have one in a shade, and being in the shade, it just doesn't grow as vigorously, so it doesn't seem to spread itself around. Just as a little side note there. There's a sapphire blue oatgrass, and then a fern spray cypress right there. Of course, with one of the seasons. And nice shade in the background. Jeez, there's so many hostas here right now. Impatiens. Japanese maples. There's some foxglove. Oh, there's a couple carts.
Yeah.
All right.
Stacy found one and I found one.
Awesome. We can fill that up really fast. I think a little bit of diamond frost. Lantana. And osteo bright lights red. Okay.
What about grasses?
I've got a bunch already pulled. I kind of
Okay.
went through and I have a pile in the back already.
Okay.
So when we're putting together several containers, I like to just kind of make a pile and then lay them out before I decide like what to take home with me. That way I make sure I've got enough for every container. It's a good looking cartload. All right, while Aaron cruises back, I'm just gonna check out these. What is that? Is that a purslane?
Portulaca. They still sell in Portulaca?
I guess.
Mojave. Look at this. Look at how Mojave mix.
That's bright. That's like right up your alley, Aaron.
Yeah. Should we get one?
Were you just one?
Well, I don't know.
Our yard would swallow up just one.
Would it go in a container or
Either one, I think.
in the ground?
If I saw that on the ground, I would pull it. It looks like purslane.
Huh. Hold on.
It's been a while since I've had these.
Water dry to normal. Drought tolerant.
Yeah, that's for sure. There are a whole bunch of plants on these tables out here. These tables once housed roses, but they've just been flying out the
Hey, Laura,
door.
you want any lemon coral?
I have some sweet potato vine. You could grab a few. We won't use them in all the pots.
They won't look that great in containers. Let's skip
They
it.
do look great in containers.
It's too. I don't think so.
Well, it depends on if you're putting it with a Supertunia. It'd go
Yeah.
well with Superbells, but
They get swallowed up.
yeah, some Supertunia latte right there. Whole bunch of daylilies on that table, more Supertunias, Superbells and Superbenas on that table. I could gather up this whole nursery in a pile and take it home. I need to head back where Aaron took those plants so we can figure out what these containers need. So I've got a smattering of things. This is the back stock right here. We went through that, and this is my pile. I've got several different choices for centerpieces here and several different annuals. So what I'm gonna do is make 10 separate piles, one for each pot. What do you think, Aaron?
Yeah.
That way we can really like visualize, because
Sure.
we want them all to look a little bit different,
Yeah.
which is fun. So anyway, here we go. All right, we've got them all laid out, minus the king tut, which kept falling over, so it had to come up here into the truck. We will get all of these planted, and then we'll go through every single plant that we chose. planted up, and it just looks fun to see some life and some color in some containers, because we haven't planted any of ours up at home for summer yet, so this is exciting. If you look right to my right, you can see the splash pad. Of course, it's not running yet. In fact, they're not opening up until later on this month. So we are actually going to be taking care of these and looking after them until the 28th. And that's why we have them all lined up right here, so it's easy for us to reach them with the hose, and they are self-watering, so we'll only have to come down here for like 1 to 2 weeks on kind of like an every other day basis, just to check the plants, make sure we don't need to water, because you have to top water until they're rooted in enough to soak up water from the bottom. So these planters right here, we planted them up before, and they're from Earth Planter. They're the Urban Vase 31, 26-inch diameter. So they have a fill right here. You can see this is where you fill their reservoir. We haven't filled them yet. In fact, I haven't even watered them in overhead yet, which you're supposed to do. So you may have noticed that we put soil in, we put flower tone in as our starter fertilizer, and then you wet the soil down like thoroughly until it's soupy almost, and that really helps the plants, one, root in and kind of like settle into their spot, but it also helps the soil draw up water better from the very beginning. So like today, what we'll do is we'll water all of these in from the top and then fill the reservoir, but we'll still water them in from the top for a few times before they're self-sufficient. I didn't use very many plants, 7 plants per pot, except for this one I only used 4. I chose things that I have grown. Every single plant I have grown except for one, which I'll show you in a second. They're all amazing performers in our area. I didn't do anything that I thought would compete with each other. I left some space for them to grow, which is kind of not like me, but I think that these are going to be some really pretty arrangements in the end. Okay, so what I want to do is just walk you through each one of these containers, talk about what I used. I will try to remember all the names of all of these. We've got Rock and Fuchsia Salvia right here. These grow like 26 to 30 inches. And I mean, they're so gorgeous. So even when they're not in bloom, like this is their bloom, the calyx that holds the bloom on looks like a bloom. So it doesn't matter when these start to fade and fall off, it still looks like this is a bloom stalk. It's really interesting, so you don't feel like you have to keep deadheading, and it'll just keep producing blooms all season, and they really bulk up. Around it, I have 2 different varieties of plants. We have Diamond Mountain Euphorbia, which grows big, like I want to say 2 feet or more. I can't remember exactly, but that's what it grew in our garden. It got really good size and really thick. And then Supertunia Bordeaux. I think this is a really beautiful mixture. Like I kind of want to do this at our house somewhere. Moving down the line here, we have a Canna. This is a Toucan yellow that I planted crooked. Awesome. These tend to really bulk up quickly. Last year I had so many bloom stalks like all the time on my cannas, and so I was really happy with them. And with the cannas here in this kind of more exposed area, we'll probably tuck them in a little bit toward the edges rather than put them out in the like where they'll get the brunt of the wind, because they tend to maybe want to get a little bit of leaf tatter. That's the only issue I've had with these. So it's just kind of a placement issue. This is an osteospermum called Bright Lights White. I planted osteos both in containers and the landscape the last few years, and they perform like crazy. They get nice, good size, full of blooms. You don't have to deadhead them. In fact, they do what's called burying their dead. In the fact that they bloom out and then their blooms start to fade, and then they flush out a new set of blooms that kind of cover the old set. So they just kind of keep doing that all throughout the season. We have a Sweet Caroline. How come I can't remember this one?
Raven?
Is it Raven? I think it's Raven. I think you're right. Anyway, this is a good one. And we've got Supertunia Honey, which this one produces all kinds of different colors, from like mauve pink to apricot to mustard yellow to light yellow, and I thought it'd be really pretty with osteos because it has a yellowish center, and then with our yellow canna. We have a luscious berry blend lantana. These thrive on heat, so these will do really well here on the concrete. Right here, this is kind of a classic. We've got purple fountain grass here, and then we've got 2 different varieties of plants around it. This is the large lilac blue Superbena. We planted these in our hay racks one year, and they were phenomenal. They kept up with Supertunia bubblegum, which is kind of nuts. Hardly anything keeps up with that plant. So this is great. There's 3 of them, and then we've got a Supertunia Pink Star, Mini Vista Pink Star, right? It's a Mini Vista. It's a stripy pink and white Supertunia, so I think this will be a real bright and fun looking one. Right here we have a Supertunia Vista Paradise. No color on them yet, but they are starting to bud. Wait. That can't be a Supertunia Vista Paradise. That looks purple. Did I put indigo? I must have put indigo in here. Well, this one will be a mystery. I thought it was Vista Paradise, which is a kind of tropical pink Supertunia. That just may be what their blooms look like when they're really faded. I don't know. So we've either got Vista Paradise or Mini Vista Indigo here. Sparkling Amethyst Superbena, amazing plant. Doesn't that look so pretty? It's got like the deeper lavender, light lavender, and almost to a white there in the center with that green eye. And then a purple spike, or a red spike rather, in the center. This is a fireworks pennisetum. So instead of being like the purple fountain grass has a lot more red in it, this has a green base and then it has variegation like stripy pink and white on the leaves. And then we've got Supertunia Black Cherry, 3 of those, 1 Supertunia Honey, 1 Osteo, this is a Bright Lights Yellow, right there. And this is the only plant I haven't grown in this lot of plants. This is an Ipomea, it's a Sweet Caroline Medusa green. I think it's new this year, but look at these leaves. Look at how interesting that is. I gotta let it grow to see what I think about it. I'm not gonna try to form an opinion on it right now. So this one is Toucan Scarlet, Canna, clearly. Beautiful, bright blooms. We've got Supertunia Mini Vista Indigo. There's 3 of those. I usually pick like an anchor plant, like I pick 3 of one thing, and then in between I'll plant something different. So we've got the 3 indigos, 1 Bordeaux, 1 Superbena Peachy Keen. I love that corally pink. And then another luscious berry blend lantana right here. Purple fountain grass. This is a Supertunia trailing blue veined. There's 3 of those, kind of silvery with the purple center. This is a Superbena called Iced Cherry. That sounds right. Toucan Orange right here, Canna. So this one has green leaves with the bright bloom. There's Supertunia Mini Vista Indigo. There's a Superbena Sparkling Amethyst, Peachy Keen, and then another one of our Raven Ipomeas. Then we've got a red spike. There's Osteo Bright Lights Red, which I actually really like this. I'm not usually a red bloom fan, but this one has some kind of tropical vibe to it. See that kind of melon, like the apricot melony color toward the end? It almost kind of gives it an iridescent glow look to it. And I think they're so pretty. I think it's gorgeous with the Supertunia Honey. So that's the mix in that one. And then this last one's gonna be interesting. Erin really wanted to put a King Tut in one of these in one of these pots. So King Tuts get huge. So do Supertunia Vista bubblegums. So we just put the 1 grass, 3 bubblegums, and we'll see what happens. I'm hoping that this one doesn't get so tall that we have to like try to stake it up somehow. I'm not sure. So we're actually not going to be taking care of these all season. We will be taking care of them until the splash pad opens, and then the crew here is going to be taking care of them. So we're going to let them know how to, check the reservoirs, and then how to spray, because we have to spray all of our Supertunias with Captain Jack's dead bug for budworms once a week in order to keep the budworms off of these plants. Otherwise, you don't have any blooms that eat the buds off the plants. It's just something we deal with here. And then we're also gonna just leave this bag of flower tone, and they'll have to do that about once a month. And for the diameter, or rather circumference rather, of these pots, I think we figured out you'd need roughly half a cup, a little bit more, and you sprinkle it around the exterior of the pot here and water it in. So it's pretty easy maintenance, really. And then watering, of course, usually in the hot part of the summer on a concrete pad like this, I would guess you would fill the reservoir every 5 to 7 days. Earth Planter says you can get about 2 weeks or so out of the reservoir being filled. I usually just like to keep them on a once a week schedule to keep them topped up just in case, because you guys know, those of you who've been watching our videos, we get really hot here and we get a lot of wind. So I think it's peace of mind for me just to keep them on that weekly schedule. And weekly watering as opposed to every single day is so amazing. It really is a game changer, especially in applications like this. Commercial, at businesses, when you do a lot of containers at your own home like we do. Until we had, all the drip stuff figured out at our house, self-watering was really the only way we could do it. I think I'll go ahead and come up with a list of all the pots with everything I used in them, just in case you guys want to reference that. We'll put it in the description down below. And as a side note, Earth Planter doesn't sell to like the individual or at a retail level. They sell at a commercial level, like to cities, municipalities, universities, like stuff like that, what we're doing right here. So if you happen to be planning a project like that, these may be a good option, a self-watering option anyway. They do work really well, and we've tried them out here, and they get like sun and wind where they're at here, and they've worked well. But if you are looking for self-watering containers for your home, you can try out something like aqua pots, which is a ceramic style. And then if you want something plastic, something more like this, a Crescent Garden is a really good option as well. We've used both of those. So anyway, that's it for today's video. We'll try to get back down here later on this season and show you how these are looking. Hope you guys are having a great day, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye.